Dit zijn de jonge gezichten van Zuid-Afrika. Een generatie die geboren is na de apartheid in een vrij en democratisch land.
I can have a conversation with white people. I can have a conversation with black people. That is the only difference that there is.
Wherever you find black people, you'll find shacks, because that's where they live.
25 jaar geleden werd Nelson Mandela president van dit nieuwe Zuid-Afrika. Zijn hoop was groot. Iedere baby, ongeacht kleur, zou vanaf nu dezelfde kansen krijgen.
We pledge ourselves to liberate all our people from the continuing bondage of poverty, deprivation, suffering, gender and other discrimination.
Wat is er terechtgekomen van de droom van Mandela voor de jeugd?
Our people get killed here on a daily basis.
Is South Africa a rainbow nation? It's still getting there.
There are certain white areas whereby if a black person walks, you are seen as a threat.
We're struggling for 25 years, to survive here in South Africa. I need to find peace.
Dit is Mandela's erfenis. Dit is de Born Free Generation.
My name is Nell Buthelezi.
My name is Mikey MJ.
My name is Ozosipe Mpongozo.
And I am a born free from South Africa.
I don't feel born free because I feel like nothing has changed over this 25 years.
I feel born free because I can go wherever I want to go in South Africa.
Because I have many more things that older generations didn't have. I am a student at the University of Pretoria and I play the cello. And I also play in an electric string quartet called the Muses.
So you represent the new South Africa because there's two of us actually from Soweto in the band. It's 2 white girls and 2 black girls, and the 2 black girls are from Soweto.
Fine, you've convinced me. I've been in a lot of situations where somebody is like, how is a young child from Soweto playing this instrument? We don't even know what it's called. And because everyone calls it a guitar. And I just have to explain that I grew up in a situation where I was lucky to have people around my mom, around us, that played instruments and we got to play.
I grew up in Soweto. It's the same township that Nelson Mandela was also, he had a house there. And I think with all the difficulties that have been there, like in terms of money and teenage pregnancies, so not everyone fails as a Sowetan child.
Take me away, I need to find peace. Maybe a beach house with a side piece. Take me to a place where there is no beef. What the fuck am I asking? I'm stuck on the streets. Mitchell's Plain is basically a place where colours live. They say colored is a mixed breed between black and white. For me, it's basically a ghetto. Most young people didn't finish matric and I didn't do it because I saw that even if you do finish matric and go study, you still won't find work. It's hard to find work here by us. We grew up struggling. I'm talking about, when I'm saying struggling, no food in the house, no money. The only thing I'm gonna need now is just a nice mellow beat. I ended up in a gang when I was 12 because I feel like that was my only option I had back then. I was still young, and then I saw the nice life that this guy did, selling drugs, making money over it. But I knew that guys, they weren't one of the nicest people around in our community. But I felt welcome, I felt loved. I left the gang 6 years ago, and the reason why I left the gang is because I would have either died or go to prison for life. I'm making clean money today with rapping. Yeah, the place where I'm gonna go to now is Lintergeel, the place where I was born and raised and where I took part of the gangsterism and stuff like that. The place that made me, how can I say, made me the man I am today. When I say it's a ghetto, I'm talking about the way, poverty. Poverty is the main thing when it comes to the ghetto.
Oh, Mike Larry!
I broke in cars, I broke in houses. I did all of these crazy things with them, shoplift. I'm talking about hurting people, robbing people. Ooh, that was the worst. Like robbing people. And I'm not saying that to feel proud of myself, because that is what we had to do. We had to survive, we had to make money.
Zuid-Afrika is een jong land. Ongeveer de helft van de bevolking is jonger dan 25 jaar. Hoe je leven verloopt hangt af van wat je ouders verdienen. Witte families verdienen gemiddeld 6 keer meer dan zwarte families.
I live on my own, in this 3x3 shack, So we don't have running water in our houses, anything like that, The taps are outside, the toilets are outside, we share them. My parents are not educated, My mom got pregnant, when she was in grade 12. She got pregnant with me. And basically, after she got pregnant, she had to leave school and go find work in order to support me and things like that, Although, she did not have money, to put me in these fancy schools and like that, But she had love, Psychology was one of my things which I wanted to do, and social work. Varsities and colleges nowadays are way expensive, So, yeah, I dropped out, I went to look for a job. I went to a youth academy. They put me into an internship, which is a 1-year internship, which I'm busy with currently.
Het aantal zwarte studenten stijgt, maar slechts 5% haalt uiteindelijk een bachelordiploma. Een derde van de jeugd gaat niet naar school en heeft ook geen baan.
Yeah, there are youngsters who are in school, but the majority of them are just out in the streets, they're basically doing nothing with their lives, And that's one of the major problem which we have, not only in Imizamo, but in the entire South Africa.
I have a really lovely boyfriend. His name is Lendl van der Merwe, and he's the sweetest person on this planet. We've been together for 1 year.
Almost years. 1 year, 10 months.
10 months.
I feel born free, and I'm happy that I'm born free, because in the past, during apartheid, it was frowned upon and illegal to be in a relationship with someone of another race if you were a white person.
I have dated people outside of my race. I've dated an Asian guy before, and I've dated a black guy before, and now...
I haven't. This is my first interracial relationship.
People normally stare.
Yeah, I think that's the most negative side is the stares.
The staring.
But I feel there's still racism, especially in some of the older generations. It does trickle down to the younger generations, I think, by the ways that they were raised.
There's a lot of racism in South Africa. I know a lot of guys that is around me that is racist. I know a lot of black people that's racist and they're doing it live on social media. I know a lot of white people that's racist. I used to work with white people that was racist, and they were even racist on me. And I didn't say anything about it. I know a lot of black people that is racist. They come to my face and they tell me, I don't like you colors. And then I will be like, I don't like you blacks either. But I'm not racist, I'm just trying to get him back.
We still have that mentality in our minds, white people are superior and we are inferior to them, Yeah, when you walk in the streets of the white areas, you'd find an ADT guard pausing you maybe 4 times, so they just want to see where you're going, basically tracking you, or they'll ask you where you're going, things like that. So, yeah, we are free, but not really free, We are free to a certain extent.
Guys, please have some chicken strips, Tamlin. Shrimps. Black-born fees and white-born fees. I think more for black-born fees, we do get a chance to go further, but I still don't think it's equal. I have to take care of myself. I have to take care of my family. If my brother needs something or my cousin needs something for school, they call me and I have to give them the money or send it to them. Or white parents of the born fees have money, and the black parents of the born frees are still dependent on the born frees to go through week by week, month by month.
As I'm standing here looking on the other side of the mountain, I see nice houses with big land and swimming pools. While when you look on this side, what you only see is just a bunch of shacks, you know. The majority of people living on the other side of the valley, the majority of them are white people. And the majority of people living in IY, like where I'm standing now, is mostly black people. I think they inherited what they have from their forefathers, you know, due to the colonization that was happening back in the years of apartheid, you know. And since black people were oppressed at that time and they were like forced to live in these small spaces and stuff, you know, it still has an impact on our lives today.
Tijdens de vorige verkiezingen stemde 30% van de Born Free generatie. De vrees is dat deze keer nog minder jongeren naar de stembus gaan.
I never voted. Because I don't see the point of being voting. Especially as youngsters. I don't believe our voices are being heard, you know.
I am going to vote, but I'm only going to vote for the least I can't even say that. They're all corrupt and you just want to vote for the one that does the least corruption.
I never voted in my life and I didn't feel like I need to waste my time voting because I think that is also like a corrupt. It's like a whole corrupt thing. It's like a whole corrupt thing. So for me, I won't vote, ever.
I do have a strong belief that the future South Africa will be different to what we have now. Like for instance, sharing the toilets and things like that. I don't want my children to face the same challenges, you know. I just want to tell them, okay, this is how I grew up, you know, and then they must be living a different life.
We don't have like proper school, no proper tools for us to go ahead in the future, like to make a better future for South Africa. I feel like we're still stuck. We're still stuck because we can't do whatever we want to do. I know I speak for a whole lot of other colors here in our area, in our South Africa. We're not born free.
Maybe the country needs more time so that maybe the next generation is the one that sees, or the one that won't blame everything on race. And this can only happen if we don't leak it to the next generation. The interracial couples are the glues between the two different races, and it's just going to bring everyone together. There's going to be just one color because everyone's going to be caramel colored soon. It's going to be the caramel nation.